I've finished making my new panel, my electrics on the boat. There it is. There's the radio, look, everything's labelled now. On the back here I've got, everything's all nice and neat, and I've got this little beauty. I'm going to plug all that in tonight and sort the settings out and hopefully make it work, and then I'll be able to get AIS information on my tablet, or any tablet for that matter, via that NMEA to Wi-Fi bridge that I've just installed. It should be absolutely great, a major upgrade, and everything properly wired in. We'll see. Energise, Mr. Scott. It worked! Although I do have a rather wet bottom. You can see I've got a bit of a mess to sort out there. Should be a case of just... Yes, it does fit. Of course it does. Of course it fits. I knew it'd fit. I always knew it'd fit. I haven't worried at all about that. I knew it would fit. Look at that. That's just fantastic. It's going to be so much better. All right then. I think what I'm going to do here is get my wiring done, and then come back to you and show you what I've done, because frankly watching me twist wires together, or however it is I choose to fix them, is going to be very boring. I filmed this bit over a couple of days because by the time I'd unpicked all my wiring and sorted it out the other night, it was dark. And filming inside the boat is tricky at the best of times, but when it's dark it's just, it would be horrible. So here it is. There is my standard Horizon GX 2200E, European version. I've switched on. Obviously this has GPS and AIS, but the AIS screen on it is rudimentary to say the least. There it is. So what I needed to do was pipe that information to my tablet so that I could get a better visual representation of what was going on. That, as you can see there, is the Yakka 2-port NMEA to Wi-Fi bridge. And for anyone that's wondering, and I had to do a little bit of research, although those very helpful people on the Twister Association forum solved it for me actually in a trice. So what I've done is taken the grey wire out of the radio and put it into RX2, the port just there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but there it is. The only wire that's connected. The other two, obviously the red and black, are just the power supply for that Yakka unit. So that's the way that's wired up. And all it does is convert that GPS and AIS information to a Wi-Fi signal. That's the shortest, easiest explanation. Really cool, and it's about the size of a Zippo lighter, smaller than that in fact, and draws, I think the website said something like 30 milliamps, which is completely inconsequential, isn't it? What that's done with a few tweaks to the settings, I hope you can see the screen here. Now I have an AIS display, that's why he's showing up there, and I can get all the information on that vessel like that, just using any tablet now. And in fact the GPS signal that this is receiving now is also from the radio. Fantastic. It tells me closest point of approach, his heading, his speed, everything. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now to get, I use Navionics, or Boating HD it's called now, and to get that information displayed you have to tell Navionics where to look for it, and that's very simple. Menu, paired devices, and then obviously this is paired to it now already, but if it isn't, you click on add one and it'll find it. It'll find the Yakka, you connect to it and tell it what you want to receive, and it says there AIS receiving data, external GPS receiving data. So it's very easy to set up on a tablet. Important note, with the radio there are a couple of things that you have to set in order for this to work. So if I could just stand you there, let's see if I can get you the right way up, pointing there we go. So you have to tell the radio to output all its NMEA information at a baud rate of 38,400, something like that, you'll see in a moment. And all you do with that is hit call the menu and hold it till the menu appears. There it is, general setup, select. So general setup, then you hit select, the soft key select, NMEA data in out, and you set the baud rate to, it's 38,400, so 38,400. Set it to that. If you do that, it will output GPS and AIS information down the same wire. which is why there's only one connection on that Yakka, so that's quite critical there. And the other thing you need to do is go to GPS settings, just come back out of there to general setup, GPS setup. NMEA output, and you have to select all of those and then switch them to on. Now they are on switched on at the moment because I've done it, but if you select that, see on or off, and you've got to do that with every single one of them. Once that's done, the radio outputs that information to the Yakka, and all you do is log on to that Wi-Fi network. The great thing is, now you can use any tablet with it. Wi-Fi, sorry, as long as it's got Wi-Fi, it doesn't need to have GPS or anything else. Really good. You can also get a cheap tablet to use as a repeater. You just install avionics on it, stick it in the cockpit, connect it to the Wi-Fi, and away you go. Brilliant, brilliant little solution. 50 quid that was, that Yakka. 50 quid plus advice, which was free, fortunately. So that's that bit. Very happy with that. That was a very inexpensive and low aggravation upgrade that has got me useful AIS now. Great. Next thing then, water. Now I've been threatening this this particular video for a long time. I'll just get my torch. The water tank on a twister is under there. It's built in, it's in the keel, which is a good thing because it keeps all the water cool, nice and cool and fresh. So I've built in this pedal box here. It's not quite finished. Obviously it's not got bits of trim on it there and all making it look pretty, but this is all sealed, this plywood at least, so it's not going to rot. And I've installed two identical pumps, wax on and wax off. The reason I've chosen to do that is because it's built-in redundancy. If this pump fails, that would, strictly speaking, mean that I can't get any water out of the building. I mean, that's a problem, isn't it? Can't get any water out of the tank. But they're identical, which means the parts are interchangeable, or if I want the least aggro solution, all I do is swap the hoses from that pump to that pump, and then this one becomes wax on. Brilliant. And I've installed a filter. This emptying pump here replaces the somewhat traditional hand-operated evacuation pump that used to be there. You know, I liked that because it was traditional, but it was knackered, it didn't work, and there comes a point where you can't make things work anymore, and that was just, it had had its day. And I wanted to go with the pedal box because that means that you can do things like washing your hands, because it's hands-free, isn't it, doing that? Or hold on whilst you fill the kettle and pump the water at the same time, whereas before it wasn't like that. I prefer that setup, and I have to say, I do it to the sillies, and it's working very well, very well. Water filtering. Now this I have solved after quite a lot of buggering about. In order to show you, we have to go in there. There it is, look. Let's just take this cushion out. So, this filter is completely bisexual. It's fantastic. You can plug it in so that the flow is from the other side through this side, or from this side through to the other side. So that makes mounting it lower aggravation, doesn't it? So that is the Jabsco Aqua filter. They're about 40 quid. Very easy to install. And when you want to replace the cartridge, you just unscrew this, throw it away, and put a new one on there. It's an activated charcoal filter with a particulate filter in it as well. So the only thing that comes out of the tap now is fresh filtered water, and it tastes delicious. And filters like that, they aren't, you know, they don't deal with viruses. They are antibacterial, but I treat the water anyway. It's just that people, mostly when they treat the water, you end up with foul tasting water, don't you? You get that nasty twang on the water. Not on this stuff, it really is. It's the cure. It's fantastic, and I'm very pleased that I got it. And not super expensive. The replacement cartridges are something like 26 quid, and you're supposed to do it once a year or something. No problem. Add that to the little service list, no problem at all. The new galley's looking nice now. I've made my saucepan and lid and detachable handle holder thing there. That all stays nice and secure in there. Got my bowls and plates in this that I made. I still have to fair this up, probably put a strip of hardwood across there like I have on that side. Fair this up, and this was a hole that you used to be able to reach through to turn off the gas when people get the gas in the locker there. What it's going to be, I think, is I'll make that a little bit bigger and I'll make that the bin, because I've realised that actually having a bin, that's an important consideration. It's not just a handy accessory, that's useful. That. So I'll put one of those on, and that pretty much sums that up. Today, it's a beautiful day. It's the middle of September, so it's not blisteringly hot. I'm going to do some varnishing because I really do have to get a couple of coats of varnish on before winter comes, and winter is coming.